guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with the lovely Ashley. Her channel name is,
I think it's Ashley Johnston.
I'll have it linked down below. I'll also have it in the eye so you guys can go visit her channel. We're doing a really fun collab.
Embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
Probably
I'm
cringy.
so excited. So we're both writers and we've both been writing for a very long time, since elementary school, both of us.
Totally.
We're going to be reading each other our old writing. I've got some short stories and some like beginnings of novels and even some songs because I used to write songs.
I'm excited about the song.
When I was 14, I wrote this in my English class. The girl lay still, ominously quiet on the sun-warmed ground, her brilliantly jet black hair streaming through the grass. She was as pale, as beautiful, as fragile as a china doll, with soft pink satin lips. That description.
That's descriptive.
I was so into description back then.
I'm living for it.
Of her surroundings she knew not, for her eyes were closed.
She didn't know.
Her lashes brushing her sweet cheeks. Yet she knew she was surrounded by cherry blossoms in mid-bloom. Semicolon. Oh!
Semicolon.
She knew the smell. It was just like the village she had as a child. She remembered every spring running through the falling flowers with cousins, siblings, and friends.
So many people.
The potent smell filled her nostrils with every curious inhale.
What's a curious inhale?
She didn't know where she was, what had happened to her, or even who she was. She knew nothing of her past.
She did remember anything, but she remembered playing with cousins, friends, and siblings.
It was time. Time to open her eyes. Time to find out. Her eyes snapped open and the smell of the cherries left, only to be replaced by the frightening odor of burning wood. There they were, the beautiful huts from her village, dilapidated now, falling apart from the hellish flames. She just sat for a while like a small child, tears streaming down her face with every sob. I have so many complex sentences. Like, there's so many commas in this. Someone near her gasped, and she jerked her head up. She wiped the tears from her eyes, not wanting whoever it was to see. A shadow moved near her left, where she turned in time to see a boy running. "It's all right," she stood as she said this. "Please come closer." What seemed like years passed before the boy stepped out from the smoldering rubble. He walked right up to her and stopped only inches away. She saw burns and ash all over him. That was all she saw before her vision blurred from tears again. "Do you know who I am?" Her voice quivered. Of course. He had a sweet voice. Sweet as honey.
You got a sweet voice, little boy.
Sweet like honey. "Please, what is my name?" "You were called Danielle." "Were?" "Yes, you were taken 3 years ago. We have all believed you to be dead." This frightened her. What happened to her in those 3 years? What made her forget? She knew the boy could never answer these questions, so instead she said, "What happened here and where is everybody?" "We need to leave. It isn't safe here," was his only reply. He took her hand and led her into the forest. They traveled along a path only he was seeing. They walked for nearly half an hour, hand in hand. He was leading her, with her trailing behind. No one spoke. There were no noises except for the crunching leaves and snapping twigs beneath their feet.
Okay.
They stopped in a strange place. It was like a sort of home, but it was more like a dome, a hole dug out of a hill, with a wooden slab as a door. Inside was an odd little room, mostly empty. There was a small cot in one corner, a fire pit near it for the cold nights, and a half-empty sack of food in the opposite corner. Why do I need to say, like, in this corner, in this corner?
In that corner, we have a sack of food. In that corner.
And I know that I, like, continued the story. I wrote, and now back to the story. This was a journal. This was a journal in my, like, freshman English class. And so we had, like, prompts, and sometimes we had free days. And so on the free days, I would just, like, write whatever I wanted.
How old were you when you were
14.
14.
Yeah.
Cool.
And now, back to the story. The room, while dark and barren, was somehow inviting. The girl couldn't stand the silence. It just magnified the ringing in her ears. She wanted to start a normal conversation, but she wanted answers more. "When you first saw me laying in the ruins, why did you run?" "You have become changed."
What the?
"Changed? How so? You are like a different person. A new person, you are not the girl I once knew. But if I am Danielle, why did you not know? Do I not look the same? It is odd, you do not. The Danielle I knew had blonde hair, and her skin was just as tan as mine, maybe more. The girl tried to imagine how she should have looked, but it was hard, semicolon. She couldn't see the color in his skin from the filth in the cold dark. So I was gonna like continue this story to where she had been like kidnapped and experimented on and all this stuff, and it was crazy. In my Google Drive I have like a prologue where like these weird demon creatures brought her back to the village, so
Interesting.
yeah, it gets intense. So this one was from college. Do you want to hear a song before this one?
I'm dying to hear a
Let's
song.
see. Okay, this one's funny. It's called One Summer's Eve. Tell no one, sweet darling, of the secret full to burst in my glowing green eyes, deep set in my core. Time to see, sweet angel, enough is enough when you don't know when to look and when to close your eyes. Chorus. Tonight is the night of all nights, yet to be seen or to be heard. Watch the clock and listen to the wildlife, fireflies and crickets, dew forms on the leaves. No one ever told me a sunrise could be that beautiful. Talk to me, sweet darling, of the stories that you heard, bedside by candlelight in mid-September. Think of me, sweet angel, the next time you are in town. Walk off the path and go, find your adventure. Repeat chorus.
So I want to know what like was going through your like what was this supposed to represent for you?
I guess just everyone's so like stuck in the city and we need to like get out in nature. Okay, here's the bridge.
Oh, the bridge.
You're mad as hell and you curse at the wind. But still it doesn't matter about the grudge that you're still holding. It's all the same. This moment will always be here. Repeat chorus times 2. I used to think that was so good. Okay, so this is called The Caged Bird Still Sings. My window's open just a crack until you make your way back from California. How was Hollywood, babe? How did everything go? Did you find your fame or get lost in the smoke? Oh, and I have like A, B, C, D, C, D to like figure out the rhymes.
Wow.
I was serious. Chorus.
Serious songwriter over here.
Yes. So tell me, come right out and tell me. Tell me I was wrong. Tell me you were right. How can it take so long for me to regain sight of how this world turns slowly? I've made such a fool of me. I don't like that at all.
What are you trying to say?
I don't even know. I think I was just like, this rhymes with this, so how can I fit that together? It seems I'll never recognize. I'm still learning to read the signs, all of the little things of a calling chance. Can I have one last dance before the night is done, before the war is won? Repeat chorus. Bridge. I know exactly how the caged bird sings, and I have a new song, so open the door and let me sing. We both knew it all along. You told me the reason to this rhyme. I'll keep the secret in the front of my mind.
I want him to tell me the reason of this rhyme.
Times 2.
So what does California and being a caged bird
I don't
have
know.
to do with anything?
I have no clue. I guess I was just really into California and I thought caged bird.
California.
Little like phrases would pop into my head and I would be like, that's gonna go in a song. And then I would like write the rest of the song around that, even if it didn't make any sense. Okay, so this one I wrote, I guess I was 19 because I was in college and it was the worst grade writing class in the world. She hated me. She was a terrible writer. She hated me because I was actually a serious writer. She graded me a lot harsher than everyone else.
Damn you.
There were colors, beautiful colors everywhere, new and different colors that my eyes had never seen before. 2 brilliant suns shone on the crystalline palace, its facets showering the village below with ghost-like reflections. It glowed with an otherworldly iridescence. I feel like I've come a long way.
You've come a long way.
Yeah,
because,
so that's 5 years.
Because you haven't talked about smelling cherry blossom.
Yeah. As I crept closer, darkness overtook the shimmering landscape. Any sounds that could have possibly existed before were gone now. There's always like something that used to be there that now is destroyed.
Maybe
That must have just been my
you're
thing.
just attracted to ruins.
I guess so. I could hear only my heart as it pounded in my chest. The pitter-patter of little feet slowly started to make itself known, nearly inaudible at first, gradually gaining strength. And always like someone that sneaks up on the main character. That's kind of creepy.
I mean, like, you do have no soul. Like, you're never afraid. Like, you just want to scare other people. You've never been in a haunted house with her if you don't think that she doesn't want to scare other people. You were scarier than the people.
I did scare you really good.
Yeah.
Laughter like the tinkle of bells joined the commotion, and I knew I was not alone. Hello? I said, with power in my lungs. Hello! I said, with power in my lungs. That is a really weird phrase.
It's a very weird phrase.
I can hear you. I know you're there. Come out where I can see you. The laughing stopped at once.
No, that her put power in her lungs.
The presence made itself known almost immediately. I saw that he had a small physique when he stepped out of the shadows. He moved with grace, similar to that of a gazelle. Maybe I haven't come that far. His hair was unruly and looked like it had been run through with various paints. Ooh. Oh no, we've got a lot of crossing out. Now we've got numbers. When I write, I'll be like, okay, I need to add something here, and so I'll like put a number, and then I'll write that section elsewhere.
I never do. I don't free write.
When he spoke, it was less than a whisper. His lips didn't move, but the words were said. Come away with me. I don't think that was the beginning of the story.
Oh, well, I was going to say it escalated very quickly.
I don't know what order this is supposed to be in. There's so many numbers!
Pick a section.
I'm gonna start here. I had been feeling more out of place than usual. I had frequent urges to just pack a bag and go somewhere, anywhere, even if for only a day. I went on long walks to ease my mind, but always felt more restless afterward. My feet were moving beneath me, but I felt like no progress was ever made. I tried new routes, different scenery, but the results stayed unchanged. My dream, the same one night after night, became almost too much to bear. The possibility of a strange, uncharted world at my fingertips was overwhelming, though I was crazy for thinking it could even exist in the first place. Even in my waking hours, I couldn't get the image out of my mind. The boy and his glowing castle were embedded in my eyelids. I believed my lust for adventure was taking a toll on my sanity, so I turned to my friend Laurel. Or Yanny. And then she sees the boy, so she like follows him because she's been dreaming about him. And they were like sitting at a cafe and she just got up and left Laurel. I had traveled half a block from our table. Straight ahead, standing at the corner, was the tousle-headed boy. I quickened my pace, never once allowing my eyes to waver from his face. His face? Is he walking backwards? I think you mean the back of his head.
Rookie mistake.
He met, oh! No, he is looking at her.
Oh.
He met my gaze and winked. Then set off across the street. I caught up to the corner and followed close behind him. He didn't He didn't stop or slow down once until he reached his destination. I had never been this close to him, and when he turned around, my eyes were drunk with what they took in. I really like that phrasing. Wherever the light touched his skin, it seemed to spring to life. Every inch of exposed skin glittered. Now we're reading Twilight. As if some sort of crystal were embedded in it. His eyes, those captivating eyes, just looking into them, I felt like all the mysteries of the world had been revealed. I remember writing that, and I remember thinking, this is gold. I could see straight through to the other side of the universe and back to where I stood in the unmown grass. I watched it expand as if taking one long breath in which the sigh would never come. I blinked away from those celestial spheres. Ah, his eyes. That's so bad. And focused my own eyes on his lips, listening to the words that followed. You want to leave this place. You believe you are destined for something more. You are right. Come away with me. There they were, the words from my dream. Oh, okay, so the part that I read at first, that was her dream. I didn't get that at all, and I wrote it.
I was lost.
Why was I suddenly so wary? My friends, my family. You'll see them again. It will be as if you never left. Come away with me. I looked into his mesmerizing eyes one more time and provided my answer. Okay.
Okay. Let's go.
I had the coolest name for the villain. Her name was Queen Bellicor. And it was like a different, not really dimension, but like somewhere else in the universe. I wrote this and everyone was like, it's too like YA love story, love triangle, all this stuff. But like, it was never gonna be a love thing. because he was younger than her. He was like a little boy. And so he was going to be more of like a companion to guide her through this realm. Because I had just read the manga book, Murupuri. And so the little boy in that, I modeled this kid after him because he had like crazy hair and he was very mischievous.
I mean, you can definitely see the progression of your writing.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely has gotten better.
Do you want to hear something that I wrote
Yesterday?
much recently? And we'll see how much I've progressed.
Yes.
In another 5 years. This is actually one that I wrote for my NYU application. So this would have been in like November.
Okay.
Oh, and I wrote this from a man's point of view.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so that's very different because I always write from a female point of view.
Okay.
I feel the breath leave my lungs and I know it's happening again. Ever since I was a boy, I've been haunted by these nightly visions. The doctors labeled it chronic insomnia with bouts of sleep paralysis and unnerving hallucinations. I've done everything I can to make it stop. Limit caffeine consumption to absolute zero. I read the Tao Te Ching and count sheep. I can't even count on 2 hands how many prescription sleeping pills I've tried. None of it works. They leave me alone for the most part. Some nights they inspect me so close I can see the whites of their eyes and the veins tracing their transparent skin. I can hear their whispers, but never enough to make out what they are saying. If I stay completely still and hold my breath, I can almost hear words, but none of it sounds like any language I've ever heard. They've been different lately, restless. There are more of them tonight and they move in a frenzy. The whispers cut through me like razors, so loud I fear my head will burst from the noise. But the sudden silence is louder to me than any night terrors. There are no creaking floorboards to announce their presence, but I know they still surround me. I dare to lift my head from my pillow and see 2 forms at the foot of my bed. One I have seen before, a man wearing animal skins who has a garish scar across his face. This time he brings a guest. She is clothed in thorns and bathed in moonlight. A crown rests atop her head. Very well, she says with a voice like molten glass. Bring him to me. She leaves as soundlessly as she appeared, and the rest of them close in on me, muffling my screams. There is the sensation of falling through water, and suddenly I am on my hands and knees in the middle of a forest. Shadows stir at the edge of my vision, coming and going through the trees. The world spins before me, and I retch, emptying my stomach. It's a dream, I tell myself. Nothing but a dream. It has to be. Pick him up. As much as I love a man to kneel, he is starting to bore me. Rough hands grab me from underneath my armpits and hoist me up, forcing me to stand on wobbly legs. Hello, changeling. Eyes on me. I can see her more clearly now. She lounges on a throne that looks as if it grew out of the earth itself, carved to perfectly fit her petite frame. Others surround her, carrying trays of pomegranates and figs that she picks at with slender fingers. The man in animal skin stands to her right, inspecting dirt under his fingernails, as if this whole affair were an inconvenience. What is that? What did you call me? You are one of our changelings, one of the Fae placed in the mortal world. It is time you return to us. No, I'm Emerson Rhodes. I'm from Milwaukee. That couple wanted a child, and we gave them one. We needed something from them. I can't say we didn't. They were instructed to raise you under certain criteria, and we kept a watchful eye. Pity what happened to them. She pops a pomegranate seed in her mouth without the slightest hint of empathy. She's talking about the accident that killed my parents. The lack of emotion in her voice leads me to think it wasn't quite the accident I thought it was. Please, I beg, just let me go home. If you leave here now, we will only come back. Again and again. A drop of honey cascades down her thumb, which she brushes with her tongue. It is entirely up to you. I recount all those moments lying in bed thinking I was going insane, all the doctor's visits and therapy bills and useless medications. These things have haunted me so deeply I cannot close my eyes without feeling their breath on my cheeks. And if I stay? The man in animal skin steps forward, his scar puckered and swollen like it was freshly carved. I saw a lot of things in the dark, but his face stands out more than the rest. You will join me. I recognize his voice from my bedroom, but it resonates at a higher frequency in English than in their guttural language. Gwen leads the wild hunt. As his ward, you will find other changelings like yourself that will be better suited back among the Fae, the nymph-like woman says. What do you mean? We have hundreds of changelings in the mortal realm. Most live and die there, but some, you among them, are too useful to waste. You will find them, and I will decide if it is worth pursuing further. How do I know what I'm looking for? The pull of a soul in the wrong life has many telltale signs. Look for the ones you see in yourself, the insomniacs. And me? Will I finally have peace? We have no need to observe you any longer. I cannot promise you peace in the hunt, but I can tell you the nightly disturbances will be no more. With zero hesitation, I find myself uttering my acceptance. They tell me I'm to join my comrades at first light, but for now I relish in my first full night's sleep.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the prompt for that was they had a list of words, and there was like door, bed, insomnia, stuff like that, like just like random words. So I chose insomnia because when I was in high school I used to have insomnia, and it was absolutely terrible. And I do also have sleep hallucinations and sleep paralysis and all that, so I thought that I would draw off of that to write a story about insomnia.
That's really cool.
Thanks.
Are you gonna pursue it?
Yeah,
Any longer?
definitely.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I think you definitely should.
Yeah, I really
You
want
can
to.
definitely see the progression.
Oh, that first one was so terrible. Words and phrases that I used, they made no sense, and so many commas.
Well, you tried.
At least there has been progression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it still like was the same. I would be like,
Maybe you shouldn't write.
you're a serious writer.
Now we're gonna read Ashley's old writing, and that's gonna be on her channel, so I'll leave that video linked down below. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys had a good laugh. Feel free to make fun of me in the comments, because I know that you probably think that some of that was pretty terrible, because I do too. And make sure you give the video a thumbs up, and make sure that you subscribe, hit that little notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!